Should Richmond be going after Leek Aleer? I think so, and I'll give you my reasons why. So let's get into the facts. Leek Aleer had nominated for a trade to Saint Kilda after St Kilda for the last 2 years wined and dined him and got him convinced that St Kilda and Moorabbin is the place to be. St Kilda, 4 days into trade period, pull out of the race for Leek Aleer. Essentially said GWS were asking for too high a price. Now, GWS have disputed this claim that they were asking too high of price. And then Leek's manager actually came out and said this. This came as an absolute shock. They've been whining and dining him for 2 years. They loved him where he was at, and he finally turned his head. They got him in and had the meetings and convinced him that the Saints was where he should be. It was a good fit. It was a career move and a 4 year playing alongside Jack Savani and others. Today they backlit because they don't have the picks for him. It's disappointing. They should be prepared for this after 2 years. They couldn't get a future second rounder for him. Leek is not happy and, to be honest, livid with the situation. Clubs have rung me and said it's a disgrace what they have done. Nobody from the Saints have spoken to him. And honestly, it is pretty sad situation because Saints had all these targets that they said they were going to do. Monday, they said they were going to get the deal done for Leek, and it's just unfortunately gone very haywire and turned very bitter. At the start of the video, I said, should Richmond be chasing Leek Aleer? Now, the two questions that need to be asked is, can the deal be done? And secondly, is there a need for Leek at Punt Road? Now, personally, I think the answer to both is yes, and I will get to how the trade should get done, in my opinion, why I think he would be a good fit at Punt Road. Now, I did pose this question on Facebook, and in my original post that I said, I proposed a freeway trade, which included Tyler Young, as he wants to go to West Coast, but now I think the Tyler Young deal should be done on its own, as Richmond are trying to get picks to get Callaway. But that doesn't stop the fact that, yes, a deal could be done, because I think it very much has the possibility if Richmond had the interest and Leek had the interest as well. My post on Facebook, a lot of Richmond fans, well, it was about 50-50. A lot said, yes, would love him at the Tigers, and then there were a lot that said that we don't need backmen. But I personally feel like we do need a bit more back depth. So at the moment, we've got Tyler Young out the door. We've got Bolter, Gibcus, Broad, Loston, Miller, Gray, and Traynor. So the reason I'm thinking that we do need that extra depth and Leek would be a perfect fit. Firstly, Gibcus has had a lot of injuries, and I'm very, very hopeful that he can get his body right and not cop another injury. But being a key back, as Leek is, would allow that extra depth in case an injury does happen with Gibcus. Bolter as well does spend a lot of time up forward, and personally, I prefer Bolter as a forward. If we had Leek Aleer, it could open the door for Bolter to give Lynch a lot more support up front. Broad has said this year that he's on his last contract. When his contract's up, he's essentially done. So having that extra depth already there would be amazing just for when Broad does finish up. And same with Vlossen. We don't know how long Vlossen's got on the table. Hopefully he's still a few years left, but we just don't know. Miller, Gray, and Traynor, I've got no issues with them. I just feel like we do need that depth that Leek could offer. So how does the deal get done? Personally, I think Richmond still do the Tyler Young deal on its own with West Coast, because we're trying to get draft picks in to get the Callaway deal done, or to get Callaway as a father-son, sorry. So what would I be offering if I'm Richmond for Leek services? Well, we know that the Giants want a second round, a future second round. And I think Richmond give that. Now we can also trade picks into the future, past 2026. We can do it into 2027. So I'd be offering a future third round as well. That way, I think that GWS are compensated fairly. Next year's draft is meant to be strong. So you got that strong draft that's going to have their second round pick, and then you got the future one that's going to be heavily compromised because of the Tasmanian influence on that draft. Throw in a pick there, they're still going to get like a decent player as a third round pick. And I think Richmond would be the type of team that suits Leek as well because we are heading in the right direction. We're ahead of where we probably should be. A lot of pundits had us not winning a game and we went and won 5, so we over accomplished. I think Leek would be a perfect match for the Richmond game plan, game style. Right, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below and have a good day.